Spyfu, and thank you for taking the time to look this video tutorial over. This will be the first tutorial that I've ever done. Primarily, it's about Spyfu Beta, and for those who don't know what Spyfu is, Spyfu Beta is the place that I go to, and I would encourage anyone else to go to find out what your competitors are doing. It's a very comprehensive service that they offer, and even though I'm not a subscriber, I do intend to be soon, and let's go ahead and see what they offer. You might be surprised. I guess we'll start off with doing a search on a domain. That's usually how I go about doing it. There's a multitude of ways you can go about finding out what your competitors are up to. However, I prefer to go by the domain. That's just my preference, and I will explain why as we get further into this. So I'm going to use PaperPost as an example. PaperPost.com, for those who don't know, it is a blog advertising service. It is one of the more popular ones. If you're not familiar with them, you can check them out. I mean, that's up to you, of course. Just to give you an idea what they do, it's sort of like Review-Me. It's just a little bit, I guess, a lower grade, in my opinion. For the most part, what you would do is you go to paperpost.com. If you have a blog, you sign up as a blogger, and once your blog is approved, you can go to log into their directory, and you can take these things that are called opportunities, which allow you to basically, you get paid, say, $5 to write something that an advertiser wants written. Um, it's not a bad service. There is a lot of controversy about it, but, that's just the way it goes in marketing. Personally, I feel that paperpost.com is okay, but many people disagree. But we're going to use them as an example just the same. So let's go ahead and click search. Okay, what we're looking at here is the statistical data Spyfu was able to gather for paperpost.com. For example, if you notice here on the left-hand side, it talks about the daily ad budget. It's saying that they spend between $3.97 a day to $32.55 a day in their total daily ad budget. Um, just following to the right of that, it also talks about how many clicks a day they get. So as you can see here, the total clicks they get looks between 1 and 1.5 clicks a day. The average cost per click is 13 to 51 cents per click, and it also gives you the average clicks a day right here. It gives you their ad position, gives you their average ad competitors position, and it gives you the ad percentile. It's pretty interesting stuff. I'm not so much into the PPC aspect of SEO. I don't really play with that at all. When I do, I just do it for testing purposes only, just so I can be familiar with something that I'm doing. But for the most part, I am not heavy into PPC. That's somebody else's job. I'm an in-house employee. So, moving on, if you look here, it talks about the organic results. It shows that there's 27. You're only going to get a sample of this because this is not the subscribed version of Spyfu, but it does give you a general idea of the organic results that they're ranking for. For example, blog advertising, they're ranked number 3 and 4. So it looks like they got, a couple of good ones there. The blog advertising, advertising online, paid. I guess that's an okay keyword, not my particular favorite because of who's going to search for paid. Um, but if you look through this, basically what you're getting is it's telling you what they're targeting for organically. Whether they're doing it intentionally or not, I don't know, but they are doing it. So there's always good information here because it basically, if you see, okay, yeah, I already, I run this kind of service and I'm already organically ranked for blog advertising, but you want to see what else you could be ranking for. Maybe you didn't think of, like, for example, guerrilla marketing. That's something I wouldn't have thought of, but hey, I imagine that it is a guerrilla marketing tactic, and I'm sure that some advertisers are probably searching for that type of keyword. How many times they search for it, I have no clue, but I'm sure that they are. Same thing with the advertisers. Like, for example, I can tell just by looking at the advertisements that they're ranking for that it's telling me that they like to go after misspelled keywords. And that also tells me a lot about what they're doing. I mean, yeah, they're going ahead and they're advertising for, blog advertising, but at the same time, if they're going after all these misspelled keywords, there's money for that. Meaning they're making money off of the fact that people are misspelling keywords, and it also tells a little bit about the kind of people that are searching for that type of thing. if somebody's misspelling blog, you can be rest assured that they're not, a blogger full time, or they're typo kings, which I happen to be. But at the same time, going after misspelled keywords isn't necessarily a bad thing. It does pay off. I've found that off myself. I found that out myself. Um, then you go over here where the subdomains are. Basically, just gives you a rundown of the subdomains that are on that main domain. For example, you got your paperpost.com. That's a standard, but then you have blog.paperpost.com or board. So it looks like they're running a blog and they're also running a message board. These are the kind of things that, say for example, I hate to use ReviewMe as a comparison because they're really not a comparison, but say ReviewMe didn't have forums or didn't have a blog, these are the kind of things they may want to consider if they were to ever want to try and, you know, get a little bit of an edge, a competitive edge on PaperPost by adding some of the same things they have and taking away, potentially taking away some of the customers they have, because I can tell you for a fact that on their message board they have hundreds upon hundreds of bloggers just posting there asking stupid questions all day long, and it's a gold mine for anybody who's having one of these sites, because the whole concept of it is social networking. So having a blog and a forums is not a bad thing for this niche. Um, Moving on, go to your top organic competitors. Apparently, it says there's 1,000 top organic competitors. Again, you're only going to see a sample because this isn't the subscribed version. But this basically tells you who PaperPost competitors are. For example, you got HGH Magazine or I don't know, ChrisBads.com. It's a plethora of different types of websites out there, but what it tells you is more than just who their competitors are. It's also telling me, anyway, that I can contact these people and see if they have, if they want to exchange links or something like that. So, there's a lot of things you can do with that particular list, and it also gives you an idea. Just because, say for example, I don't know, we'll just go with HGH Magazine because they're on the top. Doesn't mean that this is the case, but let's just go with them, and let's say that they're not, one of the high-ranked competitors, but they are a competitor nonetheless. It's good to keep an eye on all, any of these domains as well, because the fact of the matter is that, just because they're not as high a competitor as, say, ReviewMe.com would be, doesn't mean they won't be in the future, because these kind of things crop up all the time, and it's always a good idea to just keep an eye on what the future competitors are going to be like as well. Um, it's hard to keep up with that all the time, but I usually, I'd say every couple of weeks I'll pop on here and I'll check it out and see if there's any new ones out there. It's definitely something that you want to consider. Same thing applies with the top ad competitors. Who's bidding on what, what are they bidding on? You can go ahead and search on any one of these. Like, for example, Eastlake. Say you wanted to find out some information on them. You just click on the link and it tells you what they're spending. Same thing. What are their keywords? It's a wide variety of things that you can do with this particular service. It's definitely something you want to check into. I would highly recommend it to anyone who is serious about competitive intelligence, only because, the more you learn about your competitors, the better off you're going to be. I mean, because again, if you didn't realize that you had a competitor, an up-and-coming competitor, you can go ahead and you can just analyze their website completely and thoroughly, and it's very important that you do that if you're not already. I'm sure many of you already are doing that, but I would highly recommend you start doing that kind of thing if you're not. And I wish you the best of luck on this, but that's pretty much it. I mean, as far as you can do single keyword searches as well. Like let's go with guerrilla marketing. We'll just copy and paste this. See where that leads us. If you go to guerrilla marketing, you can see, basically the cost per click for that keyword, 76 cents, and you can see the AdWord results immediately, who are the top competitors. And you can also look at all of the organic results as well. And you say, oh, wow, I didn't realize marketingterms.com or gmarketing.com was, involved with guerrilla marketing, which they are obviously, but, it just gives you a general idea of the kind of keywords that they're looking for. And I mean, you could get so far into this where if you wanted to say, look at gmarketing.com and see what they do, apparently they don't have an ad budget, or Spyfu just doesn't have it calculated at this point. But you could look at all their organic rankings. These guys are definitely going after Gorilla. You could see that. Um, but yeah, I mean, if you look at it, and then you could look at who their organics are, and it's just a really good way to find information out. So that pretty much covers it. But if you're looking to do some competitive intelligence, I would definitely look at Spyfu because they are definitely going to tell you